This is mine. Everybody, Happy New Year! Sorry, I mean it though, Happy New Year. If this is your first video of mine, hi, my name is Sarah. You will probably see Millie shortly, and I want to say thank you so much for joining me for this first class of the new year. We're going to get started with some yoga. So, no matter if you have been working out since the start of the year, or if this is your first class, I hope that you feel awesome being here. Grab some water, maybe some comfortable clothing. That's definitely what this is all about. And let's get started. One other helpful tool you might want are some blocks, or maybe a towel. We will be in a seated position, and if that isn't comfortable, you are always welcome to take a seat on a chair, or a towel, or a block. So, I'm going to have us begin in a cross-legged position. I want us to take a nice deep belly breath in, rolling the shoulders up and then letting them fall back towards the tailbone. We're going to do a couple of these. And yes, I am thinking about being nice and tall and forward on the pelvis, meaning that if we are seated back onto the pelvis, we may be also gripping with our hip flexors. This might be really uncomfortable. We might be rounding out our shoulders, and so we want to be forward versus sitting all the way at the top of our bum. Okay, so this might be tricky. And if this takes time, that's okay. So, I want us to take this moment while being seated, nice and forward. Even though we are elongating all the way up, I want us to think about giving ourselves a nice contraction. And I want you to give yourself this contraction at any time during this class. So, I want us to think about taking our navel and our chest through towards the spine. Start with my pelvis and tilt it all up through the lumbar, through the thoracic and third cervical spine. Roll the shoulders back. Exactly. Oh my gosh, exactly. I was thinking the exact same thing. So, real quick, I'm going to turn and face this way now. We do have a difference between staying engaged and hollowing out through the body and deflating, right? So as we take this through, we still want to be nice and tall, like with the clown pushing in and up through our body. So we have a nice hollow body, and we can roll all the way through the spine. All right. So once we're here, I want us to sit nice and tall. I want us to bring our arms all the way up, and then we're going to turn the arms out, bringing it to a cactus pose. Kind of looks like a field goal position. I'm bending my elbows. I'm thinking about squeezing my shoulder blades together, and I'm going to lengthen it up. We're also thinking about lengthening in the abdomen. We're still breathing, and we can come to a cactus and send it up. Perfect. I'm just going to let the wrists roll as we let the arms fall. And before I do anything else, I want us to warm up the wrists. So I'm going to give all of my fingers some nice energy out here. I want to lengthen through both sides of the wrist. Hands can be anywhere you want. And I'm going to then squeeze into a fist. Get the blood pumping through the wrist. We want to make sure we're keeping it nice and elongated, meaning we're not bending the wrist or curling it in any sort of way. And I'm going to extend all of my fingers out, sending the energy through the tips, and then squeeze into a fist. Excellent. I am going to take my hands. I'm going to fold over to a quadruped position. These blocks. Let's begin. So I'm going to have my wrists underneath my shoulders. I'm going to have my knees underneath the front of the hip bones. And having my knees, you know, still under the hips, but not under those hip bones, can make a big difference. So we really want to find, hello. We really want to find this position. So let's start with some cat and cow. I'm going to, what's this mouth baby doing? What's this mouth baby doing? You want to? You want to? Okay. See you later. Oh, see you soon. Hi. Hi. So I'm pressing through the fingertips so I don't have all of my weight in the heel of the palm. Yeah? I'm going to start by isolating the pelvis. So we're going to tuck the pelvis, lengthen the lumbar, navel up to the sky, same with the chest, chin to chest, looking at the kneecaps. And keeping the spine long, we're going to rotate the pelvis, drop the belly, roll those shoulders back, proud chest, press into those fingertips. And I want you to find a natural rhythm for yourself. Connect the breath when you drop the belly, roll the shoulders back, take a nice deep inhale, and lengthen as we try the other way. We're going to exhale. Rushing. We're going to begin with sending one leg back. We might even give ourselves a moment to stretch the Achilles. Pressing those fingertips, friendly reminder. We're going to lengthen this leg. I want you to think about stretching the distance of our body. We're just going to lengthen. I want us to squeeze the abdomen and then bend the knee, bringing it into a crunch position. And then we're going to lengthen the leg, engage the core, lengthen the core, keep that foot flexed, and then we're going to engage the abdomen, bend the knees, crunch it in. To your body. If we're doing this at a different time, that's okay. If you want to give it a go, you can make this a contralateral move. Put out the opposite arm. If not, you're perfect doing exactly what you're doing. Okay, one more. I don't know if I count it out loud, but let's do it. Before we switch sides, I want us to take our bum back to our feet. I want us to press into the fingertips. And I want us to lift the wrists. Go ahead and roll those shoulders up and back. Give yourself a nice neutral neckline. Just giving ourselves a friendly reminder to not press into the heel of the palm. A couple nice deep breaths. Keep that intention there. Hello. As we make it to the other side. So I'm going to send one leg back, really stretch the calf. I need to make an adjustment. If you do, go ahead. We're going to engage the core before we lift the leg. And then we're going to engage the core, bend the knee, control it as we bring it in, and extend. We are breathing. If you want to add the opposite hand, go ahead. If you like where you're at, awesome. Keep it up. Lengthen the core. One more. Perfect. And we're going to sit the hips back, press into the fingertips, roll the shoulders. All right. We're going to do a series that includes a downward dog. So I'm going to curl the toes under. If we've never done a downward dog, we're going to be using our upper body strength as well. So we're going to press into our hands, press into our feet. We're lifting up the knees and we're going to send the hips up. If we need to bend the knees, we are more than welcome to. I still want us to keep the hips up, meaning we're not going to tuck the hips. If you want, you could bend one knee. And switch. And I'm going to look up at my hands. And from there, I want us to jump or walk. There. And we're going to rise all the way up. Nice mountain pose. Palms facing away, chest out. I want us to put the weight in our heels. And we're going to bend the knees, sending the hips back. Now here I want us to notice where our pelvis is. If our pelvis is tucked in, our lumbar is going to be lengthened. And I want this lumbar curve to be present. So I want you to think about sending the hips back, lengthening the abdomen, pressing into the heels so we can start activating our glutes. Rise up, arms up by the ears, neutral neckline. Breathe even though we're engaging the core. Doing great. If we need to bring our hands down, that's fine. I still want us to roll those shoulder blades back. In 3, 2, 1, press into the heels and begin to rise. We're not going to send the hips forward, but we're going to squeeze those glutes. Excellent. All right. I'm going to face forward. Now, if we can see me, I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to do this segment. I hope you can see me. If not, whoopsie. So I want us to take a pretty wide stance. We're going to be, hold on, I want to fix this mat. We're going to be, this too, sorry. Okay. I want us to have a really wide stance, almost too wide, okay? I want our hips parallel. I want all four corners of each foot pressing into the floor. I want the energy in the anterior part of the body to come up. And let's roll our shoulders back, sending all of our energy down back to the feet. Great. Let's practice that. Cactus pose again. We're going to lift up, turn it out, open to the side. I am going to Send the arms out. Let's take our leg and we're gonna turn the heel slightly in. And we're doing that all the way from our hip. This other leg, we could even slightly turn the heel outward to give an internal rotation. And I'm going to look at my hands. We're going to begin to bend the knee, sending the hips straight down. Yes! We're going to press into the heels and stretch. Do you want to be seen? Hi. And let's try it again. I want the weight into the heel so we can use that glute. The hips are coming straight down and pressing into the heel as we stretch. All right, I'll put my hands back up. I'm looking past my fingertips. This might be hard to do, right? We don't want to send this too far forward. We want to send it down and pressing it up. I'm going to take our hand that we're not looking at, we're going to put on the back of our leg. Still looking at our fingertips, we're going to lift up and over, giving us a little reverse triangle. Extending back out. We're going to stay down. Go ahead and put this elbow down onto the leg. We're going to look at the opposite hand. Lift up and over. We could bring it up to the ceiling. We could bring it a little bit further. We're not going to compare ourselves to anybody else here. Staying down. We're going to do almost the reverse triangle. This is a peaceful warrior. We could also take this hand and bring it around to the other hip. Let's come out of that. We'll try both of those one more time. Elbow down and look at the hand. Lift up. Keep that chest nice and open. And press or stay low. I'm going to take this hand, bring it all the way to the other hip. Lift up and over. Beautiful. From here, I want us to be very nice to our hips, but we're slowly going to turn. Level for this. If we want to be in a standing lunge, look at how great this is. If we want to use a block, for example, that sounds great. If we want to have our hands on the floor, that sounds great. Take a nice deep breath. Right heel as we stand. Once again, maybe you'll want a block here. We could have two blocks. You have one on each hand. I want us to have a nice neutral pelvis, right? I don't want us tucking, because then we'll never get to shorten, or we'll never get to stretch the hamstrings, right? So I want us to change where the pelvis is. Now I want us to bend both knees so we're in a split squat or kind of like a crescent pose. We're going to press through. And I want you to turn towards the center, giving both legs a moment to be still here. And we're slowly going to bend the knees, engaging the core, rolling all the way up through every vertebrae. Perfect. And now we're going to make sure that we have that extra wide base. Sending our energy where it needs to go. And let's begin. We're going to take the arms up. We're going to look towards the other side, and I'm going to take that foot, and I'm going to have the heel showing. Having a nice turnout here, with a slight internal rotation. We're going to bend one knee, sending the hips down. This is definitely something that we will find, right? Where a balance here. Pressing through the heel as we rise. This time I want us to lengthen the abdomen, reaching up into a reverse triangle. The elbow on the knee, lifting up, looking at the opposite hand, lengthening as we stretch, and we're going to stay low, peaceful warrior. Let's do that again, staying low, elbow onto the knee, looking at the opposite hand, lengthening. This hand, bring it towards the other hip, lengthen up and over. Make sure we're feeling center. Remember, we could be at any height. We could use our blocks. We could be standing, we could be on the floor. Nice deep breath here. Into a triangle pose. Friendly reminder, use a block or use a chair or a wall, right? I have a wall right here. I could be as high as I wanted to, as long as I have the hips in a good spot, right? Engage the core, no matter where we're at. We're gonna bend both knees, give me a nice crescent pose here. All the way through to center. All right, I want you to release the head. We're gonna slightly bend the knees. I want you to hold on to your elbows. Truly drop your head once you have this. Letting the knees stay bent. I want you to take a nice deep breath. Feeling the spine lengthen as you exhale. Drop the head, shake your head no. Hands can be in any position for that. We're going to engage the abdomen, press through the heels. We're going to roll all the way up through every vertebrae until we are standing. And I'm going to walk the feet in. And we're going to come to a mountain pose. Bend the knees, bring the arms all the way up. If you can't see my arms, I'm so sorry, but I want you to look past your fingertips and then come forward. I'm going to slightly angle myself so you can see. Come all the way back, send the hips behind you. Once again, if we want to block, we could put one here. We're going to bend both knees, bringing the abdomen to the thighs, pressing into the heels as we stretch. And I'm slowly going to walk back out to a downward dog. I'm actually going to adjust a little bit just because I'm a little bit off on the mat, but go ahead and find a good spot for yourself. Press into those fingertips, and we're going to come all the way down, letting the knees relax. I'm going to cross my legs and sit back, but we can get there however we want. And we finally get to do the best part of class. So we're going to come down to the floor, engage your abdomen. All right. So, I will admit my ponytail's in the wrong spot, so I just want to adjust it a little bit. There we go. And I say the same for you. If you have long hair and your ponytail's just right in that wrong spot where your neck has to change, be nice to yourself, okay? So, I want you to put your feet on the mat, but put them pretty far. Put them as wide as they'll go, and I want us to bring our knees together. They're gonna smooch, and I want us to have a little bit of some internal rotation with the hips here. I'm gonna put my hands on my belly. Nice deep breath here. Try to relax any facial tension you have. Let your back really melt into the floor here. I'm going to bring my arms up, and I'm going to kind of mimic that cactus pose that we did, only I'm going to bring my hands a bit closer. Your ribs might expand. The space between the mat and the back might be bigger. Just want you to open up the shoulders, the pecs. Taking a couple nice deep breaths here. Towards each other. I'm going to bring one knee in towards the chest, extending the other leg out, rolling the shoulders back, just for this particular variation. If you want to, you can roll the ankle. You can take it any direction, both, preferably. Send that leg down. Let that hip flexor stretch out before we send it to the other side. Roll those shoulders back. And if you want to, roll that ankle. Feel free to go both directions. And go ahead and send it out. I want you to separate the legs a little bit. Send the hands up and over. So we're in this miniature star pose. Let's take 2 deep breaths here. And we're going to bring both of these knees in. To slowly rock side to side. If going left to right doesn't feel good, I don't want you to do that. I want you to stay right in the center, rolling those shoulders back. If this does feel good, take advantage of this little massage from the floor. I guess you're giving the floor one too, so it's a nice symbiotic relationship we have here. And I want us to pick a side to roll to. Any side that's comfortable. I want you to be in a fetal position. No rules here, anything that's comfortable. I just want you to take a moment, and if you feel comfortable actually, go ahead and close your eyes. But I want you to take a moment to just be really happy with yourself that you gave yourself this space Doesn't matter if you were enjoying it or if you were irritated. Doesn't matter if you stopped the video and maybe tried it again. If you can, I want you to try to relax your eyebrows. We're going to take about the next 10 to 15 seconds to do some free movement to get to a seated position. That might mean stretching the arms out, maybe wiggling the toes, maybe rolling to a different position entirely. But you might be in a position that you're not used to being, and if you find yourself there, give yourself a moment to maybe find a new stretch. And we do not have to match, right? So you could still be on the floor, and that would be just fine. All right, I hate to take you up off the floor, but we're gonna take a seat, and let's finish this out with just a couple shoulder rolls. And I want us to be nice and tall, lifting the shoulders all the way up and letting them fall. Feeling that nice stretch. And I want you to take your nose, and we're going to, or any part of your face, and we're going to draw a circle in front of us. I don't want us to have to think about stretching the neck too far in this, so check those shoulders, roll them back. We're going to take our nose, or anything, our chin, our eyes, and we're going to draw a circle out in front of us. So I'm taking this moment to stretch the anterior part of my neck, and then slightly stretching the posterior ear. Go ahead and switch sides. Back one last time. And I want to say thank you so much for coming to this video, giving it your all, being here, working out with me. I think that's really awesome. If you have any questions for me, I would love to answer them. So please ask. I recommend you grabbing some water after this. I have not been good about that myself, so you know what? Let's just grab some. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, if you don't have yours, that's okay. You can do it after. But drink your water. Cheers to you for doing this class, and I hope to have you again soon. Bye. Oh, good.